guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I've got a quick little video today that I figured why not make. Won't be a super long one, nothing seriously in depth or anything, but I have one of my work trucks over here that has popped the top of the radiator apart. Don't know if most people know this or not, but on our 6 liters, they're very bad about the crimps right here. The crimps right here will blow apart, and the whole radiator top here, this whole plastic piece basically lifts up, and there's a gasket under here that blows. And as you can see, we have just coolant absolutely everywhere. It has left a mess on my ground, even though I drained it. So I'm going to show you the in-depths to getting it out, the tools you're going to need, kind of simple stuff like that. Because I've seen some people struggle with it a little bit, especially with the transmission fittings that go into it. But yeah, I just wanted to show some tips and tricks and everything like that, and I'll make a super quick video here, and just something for y'all to watch this weekend. Also, real quick, I just wanted to touch on this before we get started. This is a 05, this is going to apply to 04 to I'm sorry.
What the hell is even that?
05 to 07 trucks. The 03 to 04.5 trucks are just a fuzz different. The trans fittings are different. They are screw in, whereas 05 to 07 trucks are quick disconnect. So you will have to be kind of mindful with your early model trucks, because the trans cooler, I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure that the fittings actually screw in. So the actual you have a secondary transmission cooler in the bottom of the radiator. And what will happen on these 05 to 07 trucks is, if you actually unscrew the 1-inch fittings out of the radiator instead of using the quick disconnect tool, that actual secondary trans cooler will fall down in the radiator, and you'll be SOL on that. So just a heads up on that, do not do that. But on 03 to 04 trucks, I'm pretty sure that you can do that, because they have a nut cert that holds them in. Other than that, same exact concept, nothing different. And the radiators are different for automatic trucks and manual transmission trucks. So just a heads up on that one. They are different part numbers. So just so y'all know on that. But just wanted to throw this in here real quick before we get started. That way you know what's going on. So first thing first, I want to go ahead and get my coolant drained, if you have any left in the actual truck. So then what I'm going to do for that is, before I pop my pepcock down there loose, I'm going to take my Degas bottle cap loose, that way it vents. And then what we're going to do is, we're just going to go ahead and get a drain bucket under there, and now is a very good time to flush your coolant and change it all out. They just kind of put whatever in this thing just to get it over here. So get it drained and everything like that as good as you want it. And once it's completely drained, I really want y'all to wait and let it completely quit dripping and everything, because the lower radiator hose is going to hold pretty much 2 extra quarts, and so I want as much of that out as I can. So there's a little heads up on that. And once we have it everything drained out of it, we can go ahead and move to the top here, and we're going to jump on that. I'm going to try to stay out of your way the best I can with my head and everything like that, because I got you up on the hood. But we're going to go ahead and start by taking our, sorry about the shadow as well, the sun's kind of coming out, but our clip loose right here for our overflow. I want you to be just point of information here. It doesn't matter if your radiator is busted anyway, but what I like to do on these, I go over it in all my videos, just something to start getting used to doing, is just grab it like that and just twist side to side, and you'll break it loose. That way you keep from breaking this nipple off the radiator. It doesn't matter now that the radiator's busted, but just a little helpful tip there if you ever have to take it back out. So I like to just take that, go over in the bottle with it, and now we're going to go ahead and get our upper radiator hose loose here. This one has just got a worm clamp. Yours probably will as well. So just go ahead and get it loose. Just gonna twist and pull, and I like to just set it up out of the way wherever I can really find a good spot. That's a good spot right there. All right, so now what I want to do is, I'm gonna get myself my 8mm wrench, ratchet, whatever it may be, and we're going to start taking our hold downs loose. Just go ahead and set these off to the side. We're about to reuse them. Like so. Alright, so now at this point, what we're going to do is you're going to have two 8mm on the actual shroud. Like so. Same size. Go and buzz these loose. Oh no. They don't really make these anymore, so if yours is busted, this thing is just busted all over the place. But we'll have to figure something out on that. Anyway, so we're going to take our 2/8 loose, like I said, and now what I want to do is I'm just going to take this loose, and like so. So you would pull your battery harness up out of it. You would have some actual tabs here that you would pop loose, and then what I like to do, this one's been routed wrong, so I can't get it out, but we're going to lift it up and tuck it over top of the engine here and get it out of the way. And then what we would do at that point is pull this radiator back, and what I like to do, I'm going to do it on this side because I think you can see better. What I like to do is put that back on, take one bolt right here, and I'm going to take this radiator and I'm going to cock it back and twist this to the side where this bolt hole is in the opposite hole, and I'm just going to tighten this up like so. Basically what this is going to do is it's going to hold our radiator back up against the actual shroud here. And what we would do at that point is, in a perfect world, you would have your secondary, let me just get this, you would have your secondary fan shroud that would be bolted up to the engine. This truck does not have it. So this, you can't get this shroud out right here because of that. If it was there, this truck doesn't have it, but if you did have it, which you should, what you would do is pull this back as far as you can, tighten these up right here where they're cocked sideways and the radiator's held back, and then you could pull this out. Since we're all broke free, like I said, we're going to take this and same thing, cock it sideways, put a bolt in, and we just want to hold the radiator back as far as we can get it. You shouldn't have to take your air box out, but it's a possibility that you might have to. So we're just gonna, this is definitely going a lot smoother because the secondary shroud is not in the engine on this truck. So it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to get this thing out of here with that. So just a heads up, don't fight it too hard, you will break it. All right, guys, so I forgot that that truck out there actually has my AN transmission lines on it, and that's where I bypass the radiator trans cooler and delete the secondary trans filter and put a 6.4 pan and filter in it. So that truck has that, so I'm not going to be able to show you the lines because they're no longer there, but I do want to touch on the tool for it. So here is our tool. It's an AST part number 8023 half-inch transmission line disconnect tool. It is different than just a generic one you get from the parts store. It's stepped for the trans lines. So I'm going to show you how this would work. We're just going to pretend that there was a line there, but I do want to touch on, you will have to have this tool if you're stock. You still have stock transmission lines that run into the radiator. All right, guys, so up underneath the truck at this point, we would have two transmission lines here and here in this fitting. Do not unscrew these. You're going to have a line that would be coming out of them. So what you would do is take your tool, put it around the line if it was here, and this is going to go in here and push the actual grommets in there like that. So you want that to be nice and flush with the fitting. And if yours is getting stuck, so at this point, once it's flush, you can go ahead and pull the line straight back and out. But if it's fighting you, not wanting to go, what I like to do is just give this a little love twist here, side to side. And while I'm pulling back on this trans line, and what'll happen is 9 times out of 10, that'll get it to pop loose. So there is that. That's how your line would work. And now we're gonna go ahead and get our lower radiator hose busted loose. And guys, we're gonna take our clamp loose here. And just be careful, don't go super quick here. We don't want to make a huge mess. As you can see, we're already draining here, like so. So I'm just gonna get my clamp as loose as I can get it, where it's kind of free. And I can slide this. Obviously, make sure you get a bucket up underneath it. Sorry, here comes UPS hauling down the driveway. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I like to do this. So this is obviously gonna house quite a bit of coolant, so we want a bucket up underneath us, and we're just gonna work it just slow, side to side, and it's eventually gonna reach a point where we can cock it and let it drain like so. And this is gonna take a little while, but this is a lot better than just pulling it off and coolant going everywhere and you taking a bath. Because if there's one thing I hate being covered in, it's coolant. So just let that drain, let it do its thing. You're gonna have to hold it because it will pop off. And once it's completely done there, you can go ahead and get this radiator hose pulled off. Guys, so now that we're down low, we can go ahead and get our bolts pulled back loose on our hold downs and get them out of the way for good. Like so. And now we are free to, well, mine's draining a little bit here, so I'm gonna let it do its thing, like so. And now we can go ahead and just get this thing up out of here. Caught on something, there we go. Like so. So here's our parts. I've got my 4 gallons. I just buy it pre-diluted because I don't feel like fighting to mix distilled water with it. So I'm lazy, sorry. But here is our radiator part number. It's going to be a 6 Charlie 3 Zulu 8005 Apple. That is the your radiator for 05 to 07 trucks from Ford. So just when you get it, like mine is right here, because they will probably not have it in stock, they'll have to ship it. Just if yours has a hole or something like that, just make sure that you double check it before you take it. We don't want any holes or anything in our fins. So just another piece of information there for you. Important note here, down here, if you look right where your radiator mounts are at, there and there, oops, sorry. You're gonna have 2 rubber grommets, big thick rubber grommets. You need to make sure that those are still there and not on your radiator before you go chuck it, because they do not come with your new radiator. So make sure those stay down there with the mounts. Didn't come out with your radiator before you go toss it in the scrap pile. So now we're gonna go ahead and get our new one in place. Being very careful not to damage anything here. Sorry, trying not to get in your way here, but also trying not to hurt anything. Alright, and we're just going to make sure that our bolts go back in our grommet there, like so. And now we can go ahead and reassemble. Alright guys, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Not a very hard job by any means. The biggest thing I see people get confused on is just those transmission lines. So everything from this point forward, just put it back the exact same way. Get your shroud put in. On the very bottom of your shroud that you pulled out, there's two little teeth that will go into two slots on the bottom of the radiator. So when you're sliding that back down, if you hit a hard spot, crawl under the truck and you can pry it back and pull down and it will pop into place. You just want those teeth to be fully down in there. And you also, when you're pushing down, make sure that you do not have the lip of the actual shroud caught on the upper radiator hose neck on the actual radiator. But put all your bolts back in, make sure they're nice and snug. Make sure your battery harness is where it needs to go, and just fill it back up with coolant. Make sure that the pepcock on the new radiator is tight before you go filling her back up. And what I'll do is I'll go drive the truck around the block, come back, check my coolant level a couple times, and you'll be good to go from that point forward. If your truck still had, it will, but if your truck has your transmission lines, when you pop them loose, you're going to lose maybe roughly a quart or so between both lines of transmission fluid. So on these trucks, they call for Mercon SP. So go to your Ford dealer and get you just a quart of that. That should be really all that gets drained out of it. And when you put them back into the radiator, you're going to push them into the actual hole that you quick disconnected them from, and you're going to hear them click. And what I want y'all to do is, once you hear them click, I want you to give them a very good tug and make sure that they do not pop out. I have had them blow out before, and if that quick disconnect fitting feels like it isn't grabbing a hold of the actual line itself very good, this is just if it was a used radiator, not a new one. A new one comes with new fittings. But if it feels loose, replace them. This would just apply to an old radiator. But like I said, give it a good hard tug. Make sure that it doesn't pop back out, because you do not want to be driving down the road and it blow out, because it'll blow all the transmission fluid out. And other than that, that's really all that goes into it, guys. Bolt everything back up the exact same way, and you'll be good to go. So like I said, just a super quick video today. I wanted to give y'all something to watch this weekend. Thank you so much for watching the videos. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. The channel is growing more than I ever expected it would. So I just want to take the time now to say thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Thank you for watching all the videos, and I will see you guys on the next one. Y'all are awesome. Bye.